Sorry about that, guys. Hit the wrong button there. So, welcome, Patriots, to the Raw Feed. I'm Tom McCullough, White House correspondent, coming to you live from the Next News studio while Gary races across Texas to celebrate Ron Paul's 90th birthday. And yes, we will be streaming that historic event this Saturday. But right now, we've got breaking news that'll make your head spin. The deep state house of cards is collapsing, and we're here to watch it burn together. What makes the Raw Feed different? You guys do. We're not just talking at you, we're talking with you. Your live chat reactions, your super chats, your Rumble rants, they're all part of the show. We're reading them between segments and featuring your comments on screen for millions to see worldwide. So if you guys got something to say, send those super chats and Rumble rants right now, even before we dive into today's explosive topics. And speaking of reaching millions, we're streaming live on YouTube, Rumble, and X simultaneously, and the establishment hates when you share directly. So grab your phones, text the stream to everyone you know. For our X viewers, repost the show to your followers now. And let's bypass their algorithms and spread truth like wildfire. I got a bit of history for you. So on this day, on August 7th, 1964, Congress passed the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, giving Lyndon B. Johnson broad war powers based on what we later learned were lies about North Vietnamese attacks. Does that sound familiar, guys? Today, we're exposing another massive government deception, the Russia hoax, with declassified proof that Obama, Clinton, and yes, George Soros orchestrated the entire thing. So if you guys want to support our fight for truth, our donation links are in the description. So help us stay independent at GiveSendGo or PayPal. And every dollar keeps us bringing you guys the news they don't want you to hear. So check this out. While the media obsesses over nonsense, President Trump just got nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize by Cambodia, of all places, for preventing an actual war. And they're even renaming a highway after him. And that's what real leadership looks like. And if you want to show your support, check out our merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. We've got the alligator Alcatraz, we've got the President Otto pen, and our Badass American Badass series. So we're your favorite news source with pride. And today's topics will blow your mind. Democrats were caught drawing gerrymandered maps in secret tunnels while crying about Texas. John Brennan trying to rewrite history as indictments loom, and Trump's peace initiatives are succeeding worldwide while ending crime in D.C. And Apple just announced $600 billion in U.S. investment. So make sure you guys are following us on all platforms, YouTube, Rumble, and X, because big tech could pull the plug at any moment again. We need you everywhere we broadcast. So now here's something special. Become a YouTube channel member. Each membership level unlocks different perks, special chat acknowledgement, exclusive Discord access that's available 24/7, and then we have behind-the-scene uploads and direct access to the Next News Network team. So guys, hit that join button and become part of our inner circle. And Gary just posted a special update on that now, so make sure you guys check that out. So the economic boom is real. Manufacturing jobs, they're coming back home. The deep state panic, it's absolutely delicious. We're living through the greatest political comeback in American history, and you guys are watching it unfold live right here with us. So remember, your voice matters here, guys. Those super chats and Rumble rants, we're featuring them on screen between segments. This is your show as much as it is ours. And the establishment thought they could destroy Trump with lies, but now Brennan's running scared, Hillary's facing indictments, and Obama's role is fully exposed. Meanwhile, Trump's bringing peace to Asia, safety to our streets, and jobs back to America. So again, guys, buckle up, text the stream to your friends, repost this on X, and get ready for revelations that'll shake Washington to its core. This is the Raw Feed, where your reactions drive the conversation and truth always wins. So let's expose these hypocrites together and show the world what real Americans think about today's news. So guys, here we go. Let's go ahead and see what we got coming in today. Looks like we got Beth Logston. We have Sandra Avery. How you guys doing? Of course, Pothead Kenny, as usual, like every night. How you doing, Kenny? We got James Fay. We got Black and Right AM Radio. That's one of my best friends, John Anthony. He's been on this show a few times. And who else we got here? Any super chats? Let's see. All right. So we got Ruby Hoover. So let's see. Come on, show on the screen here. She gifted the Next News Network membership. Thank you, Ruby. And then we've got the Intimidator. The Intimidator received a gift membership by Ruby Hoove. So thank you and welcome to the team, guys. So who else we got here? I'm trying to click back through. I'm still learning, guys, on how to do this. Gary usually covers everything, so I'm still learning how these chats are going in here. Who else is saying hi today? We've got, Sabrina K, welcome back. I know we've got our moderators in the chat. We got Mr. Faith 2004 saying hello, so hello back, Mr. Faith. And we've got Matt Roadbush. I'm terrible with names, so I'm going to butcher all of them. He said, what up? So what's up, buddy? How you doing? So, all right. We almost ready for the first trivia of the night, Bri? All right, cool. We've got Dan Thompson. How you doing today? Mark Strozier. We got John Patrick Smith. And I'll give you guys a little preview into the show tonight. So we live in Illinois, Gary, myself, and I'm pretty heavily involved in politics in the state. And so it's been a pretty heavy topic lately with all of the gerrymandering districts and how they're drawn. I was able to reach out to a couple candidates that are running in those exact gerrymander districts, like the one that they called the Scorpion Tail. We've got an exclusive video from him tonight. We've got Gary probably joining us in about an hour with some cool updates from where he's at, and you guys are going to love that tonight too. And then we've got Dylan Vansel, who's running in Congressional 17th. It's that big one where they started up here, then it cuts all the way down around the state. So we've got quite a few cool things coming. And I'm going to check one more time for Super Chats. And we got Ruby, another one from Ruby, $5. Thank you. Have a great one, y'all. So keep those Super Chats coming, guys. And keep sharing this, keep posting it, invite your friends, text it over. Let's make this channel blow up and let's have some fun, guys. So we're going to jump into topic 1, which is gerrymandering. Let's see what we got here. We've got the trivia question of the day, of the segment. In 1812, which governor literally signed his name to history's first gerrymander? Was it A, Elbridge Gerry? Was it B, gerrymander? Was it C, Gary Meander? Or D, Terry Salamander? Let me know in the comments below, guys, and click on that, on the poll that just popped up. Let's get to it. Ready? So they thought it was their secret was safe. Deep beneath the Illinois Capitol, Democrats have been meeting in underground tunnels to draw election maps. So my name's Tom. I'm a White House correspondent for the Next News Network, and I'm filling in with Gary Franchi while he heads to Ron Paul's 90th birthday celebration, which we'll be covering live this Saturday. But today we've uncovered something that'll make your blood boil. While Democrats scream about Texas redistricting, they've perfected the art of rigging elections in their own states. Massachusetts has 0 Republican congressmen despite 40% Trump support. New York, Illinois, they're all gerrymandered beyond recognition. And Greg Gutfeld just exposed their game, and what he revealed will shock you. The hypocrisy runs deeper than those tunnels. And we even have some exclusive comments to the Next News Network from candidates in those Illinois gerrymandered districts. These are the very same ones that Trump said were the worst in the entire country. So you guys go ahead and stay with me on this one. It's going to be great. So if you guys are getting close to retirement or just thinking ahead, you've probably done a solid job of saving. But here's something most people don't consider. How much of that money is just sitting in cash? It might feel safe, but holding too much cash guarantees one thing. You're losing purchasing power. Inflation eats away at it, and the dollar's value keeps slipping. And that's why more people are looking at real assets like physical gold and silver to protect their savings. And one company that makes it easy, Noble Gold Investments. You can buy gold or silver, coins or bars, and have them shipped to your home or stored securely. It's a smart way to convert cash into something that actually holds value. Noble Gold is fair, transparent, and they don't pressure you, just solid information and real options. So visit nextnewsgold.com and get started. So, just like protecting your wealth requires real assets, protecting our republic requires real transparency. And what Democrats have been doing in these shadows would make the founding fathers spin in their graves. So let me break this down. Gerrymandering is when politicians draw voting lines to guarantee that their party wins, no matter what voters actually want. They create districts that look like snakes, scorpions, or Swiss cheese, whatever the heck they're doing. And it takes to pack opposition voters into as few districts as possible. It's insane. It's how you can have a state where 40% Republican, but Democrats win 90% of the seats. It's election rigging in broad daylight. And nobody's perfected this dark art like the Democrats. So here's Greg Gutfeld laying out the brutal truth about Democrat gerrymandering, hypocrisy, and let's watch how they squirm when their own tactics get exposed. Check this out.
Joke. Everything Republicans do is a response to everything Democrats do. The founding of the Republican Party was a response to the Democrat Party and their obsessional love with slavery. They couldn't let go. The Dems mastered the art of gerrymandering. They also promoted open borders, like you said, to inflate the census count, to get more representation. They wanted D.C. and Puerto Rico to be a state. They wanted to get rid of the Electoral College. They love things and they hate things. They love things and they hate things, just like filibustering. Remember that? Yep. Now I can't remember. Do they love it or hate it now?
They hate it now.
They hate it now. So they like the rules unless they like the little strategies unless you're using them. And, Jessica brought up the Massachusetts thing. All 9 reps are Dems, but something close to 40% supported Trump. What does that tell you? 43% of New York went to Trump, and 7 of their districts, only 7 are Republican. 3 of Illinois' seats are Republican out of 17, but they went for Trump for 43%. What does that tell you? Lastly, I agree with Jesse. I think the Dems hate gerrymandering because if all the states did it, they would be destroyed. And they cannot call this bluff. They cannot call this bluff. So, and in the war of redistricting, they had to run. Again, they act like a child, do something theatrical in response to what is an adult challenge. I have no sympathy for them. They need bigger balls.
I love Greg Gutfeld. So get this straight, guys. 43% of New York voted Trump, yet only 7 out of 26 districts are Republican. And that's not representation. That's literal manipulation. The hypocrisy gets worse. Stephen Miller just destroyed their narrative with facts that they cannot escape. This isn't about fairness. It's about power, plain and simple. Check this out.
The Democrats have gerrymandered this country beyond recognition. Republicans won in the biggest blue states about 40% of the vote in the last election. States like California and New York, according to the official tally, but only got 20% of the vote. So I'm talking about the House Republicans here. In 2024, House Republicans won a 3-time larger popular vote margin than in 2010. In 2010, they picked up 63 seats. In 2024, 4 seats, even though they won again a 3-time larger victory in the popular vote margin, House Republicans. At every level of this country, Illinois, Chicago, New York, Massachusetts, Democrats have gerrymandered the vote beyond recognition to try to maintain their advantage in the House elections. On top of that, let's not forget, Democrats rigged the 2020 census by including illegal aliens. Remember, they sued Donald Trump. They sued the administration. They fought tooth and nail to include illegal aliens in the census. 20 to 30 of House Democrat seats wouldn't exist but for illegal aliens. Texas is taking just a small corrective step against this ocean of fraud, this ocean of abuse by the corrupt Democrat Party, Sean.
Stephen Miller nails it every single time. He called this an ocean of fraud. And he's right. Texas is taking a small step to correct massive Democrat abuse. And check this out, guys. All right, look at your screen right now. So you see that whole red area that's on the screen? That is the Illinois 17th congressional district. Look how it starts all the way up on the top. You see a little red circle? It cuts around the left side of the state. It comes out way out to the edge of the state, and then it cuts around a bunch of areas, and it goes back to the center of it. And that is to literally keep it a 52 to 55% Democrat district, because if they drew it the old way, they would literally have like 5 or 6 additional Republican seats. And Illinois is one of the worst states. And it gets even worse than this. If you guys have not, look up Illinois House district maps, look up Illinois State Senate maps, and it gets even crazier. They cut out individual neighborhoods. They'll cut blocks away where there's an extra 5 or 6 Republican votes. And we've got it's so crazy how bad it is. And this is where it gets personal. I called 2 of the candidates in Illinois who are in the worst gerrymander districts in the country, and they both gave us exclusive input into their district corrupt shapes. Right now, we're going to hear from Dylan Vancel, who's running in Illinois' congressional 17th district, which is the one we just saw on the screen. It's one of the worst gerrymandered districts in the entire country. It's the same one Stephen Colbert mocked on national TV as just being drawn on the outside of the state and being insanely shaped. So let's listen to this warrior speak truth to power.
That district Colbert brought up on national television, that's my district. I campaign in it every single day. I actually just got home from an event this evening. And JB Pritzker, before you decide to take on Texas, you need to look in the mirror. Illinois is the most gerrymandered state in the nation. My name is Dylan Vansel, and I'm running to win the gerrymandered 17th district here in Illinois.
And you guys, I know Dylan very well, and he is one of the hardest working candidates out there, and he's doing his best to try to overcome this insane district. It's a winnable seat. And Illinois is the most gerrymandered state in the nation. We can't say that enough. And guys, we are just getting started on this. So we're pulling up. This is the famous Scorpion Tail district that Stephen Colbert talked about the other night. You see how it starts in the bottom left near St. Louis, which is predominantly Democrat, and then it goes through a really Republican section, and then it goes up into like Decatur, Decatur and Champaign and other areas that are super hardcore Democrat. And that's just to disenfranchise the majority conservative vote that it will be. It's another 55%, and they put in just enough of the area to like really mess things up. And that's not a district, that's a theft, guys. Jeff Wilson, he's a congressional candidate for Illinois 13, the now infamous Scorpion Tail district we just highlighted, and he's revealing the truth about how that district disenfranchises voters. Check this out.
I am calling for a full investigation into Illinois Redistricting Committee and fight for a nonpartisan citizen-led commission, because voters should pick their leaders, not the other way around. Illinois has 17 representatives, but only 3 are Republicans. We all know that that is not democracy, that is dominion. The system is rigged, and the people of Illinois are being silenced. Just look at District 13. Stephen Colbert called it out and stated, a scorpion with a tail stretched across the state, drawn not to represent us, but to manipulate elections. While the DOJ investigates Texas for gerrymandering, Illinois perfected it. And the irony, Texas Democratic legislators fled here to protest gerrymandering, to the most gerrymandered state in America. Politicians shouldn't choose who their voters are. You should. Your voice matters, and it's my goal to take your voice to Washington, D.C., to have fair and just representation. Thank you, Tom McCullough, Gary Franchi, and the Next News Network for helping push out nationally and calling out the hypocrisy of Illinois Democrats.
He's another great guy, guys. And he said, a scorpion with its tail stretched across the state. That's not democracy. That's dominion. And those secret tunnel meetings, that's where democracy goes to die. So WGN's Ben Bradley went underground, literally, to expose where Democrats draw their crooked maps. And what he found proves the conspiracy is real. This footage is absolutely damning, guys. Check this out. This is insane.
Hey, I'm WGN's Ben Bradley. Have you heard about the Texas Democratic lawmakers who fled the state? Some have taken refuge here in Illinois. They're trying to block Republicans from approving a new political map engineered to increase GOP seats.
We come here today with absolute moral clarity.
They are attempting to cheat. And, I think we all know Donald Trump is a cheater.
But here's the thing. Illinois Democrats have their own rich history in map making, and it's not exactly pure as the driven snow.
The fact that Governor Pritzker is inserting himself in what's going on in Texas is the height of hypocrisy.
Back in 2021, State Capitol revealed how maps are really made by the Democrats who dominate Illinois politics. In a building next to the Capitol, through a tunnel, past furniture storage, he found an unmarked but locked room where Dems were being summoned to draw districts.
It's just all preliminary drafts being drawn for each district.
Could I go in?
Yeah, we gotta get started.
Why not? I thought it was transparent.
I don't make the rules. I don't have the key either.
Illinois Democrats have used their control to expand their supermajorities in the legislature and reduce Republican-leading congressional districts to just 3. We asked Governor Pritzker, isn't that kind of hypocritical?
Look, the fact that we are very good in Illinois about delivering for the people of Illinois and that people react to that and vote for our candidates is very different than cheating mid-decade by rewriting the rules because their cult leader, Donald Trump, tells them to do it.
said the buffet leader, J.B. Pritzker. So, unmarked rooms, locked doors, no transparency, and Governor Pritzker has a nerve to lecture Texas? This, the height of hypocrisy, doesn't even begin to describe this, guys. And Brian Harrison called out CNN's bias on redistricting, and their response proved his point perfectly. So watch how they protect Democrats while attacking Republicans for doing the same thing. Check this out.
Yes. CNN got very angry with me because they were criticizing our redistricting. I held up a map of Illinois and I put it in the camera and I told the host, I was like, did you or anybody at CNN ever drag Pritzker, put his face on TV and say, defend Illinois 13, which is a map, the district is like the size of a pinky that runs all the way across the entire state. And then CNN didn't like that very much, so they brought me back on. I was on 15 Minutes with Caitlin Collins, the first 15 minutes of her show, and they did their best to fact check me to say, no, we covered it. But every clip they showed wasn't one single excerpt of CNN ever asking any Democrat in any Democrat state, legislator or governor, to defend the gerrymandering that's been going on. So unintentionally, CNN proved the point that you and the posse and I all know to be true. These Democrats, it's nothing but projection. That's what's going on right now. Pure hypocrisy. Yep. These people are fundamentally dishonest frauds.
So get this, not one single Democrat ever questioned about their gerrymandering. And CNN proved that they're nothing but partisan hacks protecting their masters, guys. Even when confronted with evidence, Pritzker tries to gaslight America. His defense of Illinois' rigged maps is laughable. And watch him squirm under this questioning. Check this out.
If we can get rid of any kind of partisan gerrymandering across the entire United States all at once, I absolutely favor that. Let me remind you that when Nikki Budzinski was running in her district for the very first time, everybody said those were competitive races. So you can't tell me that these were drawn so that only Democrats could win. There are often races, there's certainly areas where you're probably not going to have.
Hey guys, sorry about that. The audio was being a little bit crazy on that one. So it's just more J.B. Pritzker lying and telling everybody how everything's super fair to everybody else except them, and that they had to do it a certain way. They had an independent, bipartisan kindergartens drawn in the maps with crayons in the basement, trying to make a joke out of him stealing another 8 or 9 congressional seats from Illinois. We could have 11 seats, easy, but just because Democrats win doesn't mean it wasn't gerrymandered. That's of course. And that's just like saying because the casino always wins doesn't mean the game is rigged. CNN tried to defend Democrat gerrymandering and got absolutely destroyed with facts. And California Republicans get 40% of votes, but only 17% of the seats. Watch these guys scramble from the light. It's like cockroaches.
Washington, what's the difference? Do you think, you're a Democrat, I'm not. Do you think Democrats who vote for these people in Texas want to see them running or fighting? That's just a question.
I just want to clear up where Democrats are with the redistricting fight. What they want is an independent commission. Texas Democrats introduced legislation in Texas that, of course, went nowhere because Republicans don't want an independent commission. What is there in California? An independent commission. Democrats would prefer a fair process and an
really
independent
fair.
commission.
Sochi,
no,
California,
it is. That's exactly. I'm not done. They wanted an independent commission, and the only reason that they're doing this is because Texas Republicans are not playing it fair to Texans, and they're trying to rig the system ahead of the midterm elections.
I think Democrats look politically weak. I think Democrats look reckless, and it's not going to benefit you guys next
Regarding California, Republicans get about 40% of the vote, and they have 17% of the congressional seats, so not a great example. But number two, if it's rigging the election, that's your words, in Texas, is it going to be rigging the election when all these Democrats who say they're going to gerrymander in the other state, are you also going to argue that they're rigging the election or just in Texas?
Yes,
and have the elections been rigged in Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, New Mexico, Hawaii, Oregon, Washington, and Rhode Island? Have they been rigged there as well? Because there, the proportion of Republican vote comes nowhere near what they have in Congress.
So is anybody surprised by this? Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, they're all rigged for Democrats. And where's the outrage, guys? Where's the investigations? And President Trump, he's calling out Democrats who literally fled Texas to avoid voting. Those cowards abandoned their duty, and Trump's not letting them get away with it. There's a vote on the table right now to protect the people that are in the floodwaters and try to get their houses back, and they fled the state. Check this out.
Well, I think they've abandoned the state. Nobody's seen anything like it, even though they've done it twice before. And in a certain way, it almost looks like they've abandoned the state. It looks very bad. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Should the FBI get involved? Should the FBI get involved?
Well, they may have to. They may have to. No, I know they want him back. Not only the Attorney General, the governor wants him back. If you look, I mean, the governor of Texas is demanding they come back. So a lot of people are demanding they come back. You can't just sit it out. You have to go back. You have to fight it out. That's what elections are all about.
Trump could not have said it better. He said, you can't just sit it out. You have to fight. That's what elections are all about. Unless you're a Democrat drawing maps in secret tunnels, that is. So if you guys got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is coming up. So this isn't just about lines on a map. It's about the soul of our republic. When Democrats draw districts in secret tunnels, when they create scorpion-shaped monstrosities that mock the very concept of representation, they're stealing your voice. Massachusetts Democrats represent 100% of Congress with only 60% of the vote. Illinois has 17 districts, but only 3 Republican seats, despite 43% Trump support. This is taxation without representation on steroids. They scream about democracy while literally meeting underground like some political mafia to rig elections. Every American should be outraged. Every patriot should demand investigations. Because if we don't stop this now, your vote won't matter. Only their maps will. So here's my question, guys. Should drawing electoral maps in secret be a federal crime? Yes or no? Drop your answer in the comments, guys. And while you're fired up, check out our merch shop, link below. Wear your rebellion proudly. And again, this is Tom McCullough, White House correspondent for the Next News Network. And this fight, guys, is just beginning. God bless. All right. Hey, guys, sorry about that, the technical difficulties there. We were trying to work through it. So we're going to pop back over here. We're going to see any super chats coming in. All right. Let's see what we got here. From Dan Thompson, $2. Gary, get your ass back. I agree. We're going to see from Gary here in a couple seconds, and where he's out and what he's doing. It's going to be some pretty incredible stuff, guys. So I'll be filling in for a little while, and hopefully I'm filling his shoes, which are pretty big shoes to fill up. And let's see here. You guys ready for that trivia answer? Did they get it right, Bri? Let's see. They did not. Oh, hang on. I'm getting to these buttons here. The answer was A, Eldridge Gerry. This Massachusetts governor's approval of salamander-shaped districts in 1812 gave us the term gerrymandering. So, maybe the next question you guys will get to it here. All right. We got somebody, Pothead Kenny, bless us all here at N3 tonight, and love everyone. Yeppers, be right back with notifications. Well, hopefully you see you soon. Kenny's here every night, and he's one of the mods, and he's doing it right. I know we got John Anthony in the chat, too. He was bringing up, he wants to talk about his books, his letters from John. So if John can drop that chat or drop the link in the chat, it'd be great to have that come out, guys. Would love it. All right, so topic 2 is peace. The trivia question is, which Asian fruit did Buddhist monks believe could grant eternal peace but caused wars instead? A, durian, B, dragon fruit, C, mangosteen, or D, jackfruit? Let us know the comments. Let us know in the comments or in the poll that's popping up on there for you guys now. All right. Peace through strength isn't just a slogan. It's happening right now. While the media sleeps, President Trump is literally ending wars and getting Nobel Peace Prize nominations. So my name is Tom McCullough. I'm a White House correspondent for the Next News Network, and I'm standing in for Gary, who's racing to Ron Paul's birthday bash. And we're going to be broadcasting that live this Saturday. But today, Cambodia shocked the world by nominating Trump for preventing a war nobody knew was coming. They're even renaming a highway after him. And meanwhile, Trump's envoy just met with Putin, and a summit could happen next week. The establishment said Trump would start World War III. They've been screaming that for years, guys. Instead, he's ending conflicts from Southeast Asia to Eastern Europe and everywhere else in the world. The peace president is delivering, so don't look away. So just as Trump brings peace through strength globally, you can bring your peace of mind to your appearance. And peace starts with confidence. And nothing ages us faster than stress, except maybe our declining collagen. By 40, we've lost significant amounts, causing wrinkles and sagging skin. And that's why ageless multi-collagen is essential. That's 5 collagen types from 4 premium sources, perfectly blended for maximum absorption. No clumping, no odor, just results. And every order feeds a hungry child through NoKidHungry.org. So spreading peace through nutrition, non-GMO, hormone-free, with a 60-day guarantee, guys. Just like Trump's creating global stability, create your own confidence. Get 51% off at healthwithgary.com today. So peace isn't just the absence of war, it's the presence of strength. And President Trump just proved that to the entire world again. So watch this exclusive report from Gary Franchi on the road to Ron Paul's birthday, breaking down how Cambodia nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. This is history in the making. Off to you, Gary.
My name is Gary Franchi. I'm the chief White House correspondent for the Next News Network, and I'm on a very special assignment. As we roll across Texas en route to Congressman Ron Paul's 90th birthday celebration and a stop at the InfoWars studio, a story is rapidly breaking on the other side of the world, and it's one the mainstream media refuses to touch. Now, the Prime Minister of Cambodia has formally nominated President Donald J. Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize for helping secure peace between Cambodia and Thailand, preventing war and protecting innocent lives. At the same time, a national movement is gaining incredible momentum across Cambodia to rename National Highway 4 as Donald Trump Highway. While it has not yet been finalized, the support is overwhelming, from the Prime Minister himself to scholars and students to government officials, veterans, and everyday citizens. The Cambodian people are uniting in one voice. Thank you, President Trump. They see what our media ignores, that it was Trump's decisive leadership that helped deliver an immediate ceasefire and restore hope in a region long overshadowed by conflict. As a White House correspondent, I want to speak directly to the Cambodian people. Your courage, your dignity, your relentless pursuit of peace have inspired me. I've come to understand the deep pain your nation has endured, from genocide that took the lives of over 3 million people to the tragedy at the Thai border, where tens of thousands were driven into minefields or gunned down in the 1980s. And yet, out of that suffering, you have built something beautiful, a nation that is seeking peace, stability, and partnership with the rest of the world. That is why I want to visit Cambodia. I want to walk the ground where history was made. I want to meet the survivors. I want to report on the border where bullets once flew and show the world the cost of war. But more than that, I want to experience your culture, your people, and your spirit. And for the first time in my career, I will be translating this segment into the Khmer language because your story deserves to be heard in your voice. Now, let me say this clearly. The bullying from Thailand must stop. Cambodia has earned peace, and the world must respect it. This movement, this moment, it was made possible by the tireless work of Trump consultant Michael Alfaro, who coordinated this effort behind the scenes with former Voice of America and U.S. State Department officials. And yes, the Trump inner circle is watching. Donald Trump Jr. has been fully briefed. He has seen the coverage, and his response, awesome. So what's happening right now has the power to reshape the face of diplomacy and recenter the conversation on real peace, not manufactured narratives. This is what peace through strength looks like, and it's what the media will do everything to ignore. And that's why we're here, to make sure that you see it first. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi, on assignment. Stay tuned.
So they are renaming the National Highway 4 the Donald Trump Highway. When's the last time a foreign nation honored an American president like this, guys? Honestly, when was the last time this happened? But Trump's not stopping with Cambodia. He's tackling the biggest conflict on earth, Russia and Ukraine. Listen to Trump himself reveal a breakthrough that has the war machine panicking. Check this out.
Zelensky agreed to a summit yet? And where and when would that be?
Well, there's a very good prospect that they will. And we haven't determined where, but we had some very good talks with President Putin today. And there's a very good chance that we could be ending the round, ending the end of that road. That road was long and continues to be long, but there's a good chance that there will be a meeting very soon.
How awesome is that? Trump said a very good chance we could be ending the war. And those aren't empty words coming from the world's free leader. That's a promise from a man who keeps his promises. And Secretary Marco Rubio confirms Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, just had a productive meeting with Putin. For the first time, we have concrete terms Russia would accept. And this is real diplomacy. Check this out, guys.
Well, Steve went over to Moscow yesterday, Steve Witkoff, Ambassador Witkoff, and had a productive meeting in terms of what was discussed, the details that perhaps hadn't been shared before in terms of some ideas about how to bring this war to an end. Let's remind everybody that's the goal here. The president wants to end the war. So it was productive in that sense. We now have to continue to make progress. The president, after getting that update today, convened several leaders from Europe, updated them on what happened in the talks. We're going to be having talks with our European allies and the Ukrainians as well over the next couple of days, just to see what progress we can make on that side of it. And then hopefully, if things continue to progress, an opportunity will present itself very soon for the president to meet both with Vladimir Putin and with President Zelensky at some point here, hopefully in the near future. But obviously, a lot has to happen before that can occur. But I've always believed, I've always said this, that I think for the deal, if there's going to be a deal to end this war, it'll have to require the president to come in at the end and close on it, as I've seen him do numerous times now on trade deals as an example. So we got to get close enough to that point so that a meeting like that will be productive and worth doing. Today was a good day, but we got a lot of work ahead. There's still many impediments to overcome. And we hope to do that over the next few days and hours.
So European allies are briefed. Ukrainian positions considered. The machinery of peace is moving faster than the machinery of war ever did. And here's the key. Russia has finally laid out what they want to end this conflict. Secretary Rubio explains how Trump plans to close this deal like only President Trump can. Check this out.
I think what we have is a better understanding of the conditions under which Russia would be prepared to end the war. We now have to compare that to what the Ukrainians and our European allies, but the Ukrainians primarily, of course, are willing to accept. And what you try to see is how far can you get these two positions closer? How can you get these two positions closer to each other? If we can get what the Ukrainians will accept and what the Russians will accept close enough, then I think there's the opportunity for the president to have a meeting that includes both Putin and Zelensky to try to close this thing out. So we got to get closer in that regard. But I think for the first time, perhaps since this administration began, we have some concrete examples of the kinds of things that Russia would ask for in order to end the war. We haven't had much of that to this point. Obviously, the Ukrainians have a say in this. We got to bring the two sides and the two positions close enough so that, the ultimate closer, President Trump, can get involved and make it happen.
Donald J. Trump, the ultimate closer. That's what they're calling Trump, guys. From real estate to world peace, the man knows how to seal the deal. That is for sure. So Sky News is reporting the summit could happen as early as next week. And the location is possibly the United Arab Emirates. And so watch how quickly the establishment media tries to downplay this historic moment. Check this out, guys.
But the White House is reporting that Russia has expressed a desire to meet with Mr. Trump personally. It follows this meeting today. Obviously, President Putin meeting Trump's chief negotiator, Steve Witkoff, in Moscow. Trump is open to meeting with Putin and Zelensky. This was first reported, in fact, by the New York Times, who apparently disclosed his plans in a call with European leaders today. Sky News understands Keir Starmer was also on that call. President Trump intending to meet in person with President Putin as soon as next week, the New York Times reporting, and he plans to follow up shortly afterwards with a meeting between himself, Mr. Putin, and President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine. And the meetings would include only those three men and would not include any European counterparts, the European leaders who have tried to play a coordinating role on meetings, obviously, to end the violence would not be included. Obviously, Europe the backbone of support for Ukraine. We will see what happens. Not immediately clear if Mr. Zelensky had agreed to the plan or Mr. Putin, but the White House indicating Russia has expressed a desire to meet with Trump. Whether it comes as early as next week, we'll have to wait and see.
I think it's insane that no European leaders were invited. Just Trump, Putin, and Zelensky. No bureaucrats, no warmongers, just the men who could actually end this. And the United Arab Emirates connection is fascinating. Sheikh Mohammed just happens to be in Moscow as we speak, guys. Just so happens. They've mediated prisoner exchanges before. The pieces are falling into place. Check this out.
I'm Bennett there. Well, let's just bring you the latest images that we have coming to us from the Kremlin. This is the meeting with Sheikh Mohammed of the United Arab Emirates. He has arrived in Moscow, arrived at the airport and has now travelled up to the Kremlin. We've just heard in the last few minutes, as Ivor Bennett was just saying in his report there, that it does now seem that the UAE is being considered as the main venue for that possible meeting between Trump and Putin. It has mediated the exchange of prisoners between Russia and Ukraine, and fortuitously, Sheikh Mohammed from the UAE does happen to be in Moscow today. So that is the latest that we are hearing from the Kremlin, that the UAE is a possible location for this potential meeting between President Trump and President Putin as early as within the next week.
So I think it's a genius idea to have the United Arab Emirates as neutral ground, and they are a proven mediator. And this isn't random. This is strategic brilliance. Fox News confirms what we've been reporting. Peter Doocy has the inside scoop on how Putin personally requested this meeting with Trump. And the Russians, they finally want peace. Take a look, guys.
President Trump reportedly set to meet face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin as early as next week. This comes right off of Steve Witkoff's meeting with Putin. Senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy fills us in on this huge development. Hi, Peter.
And Martha, I see the Chiron, we're citing a report. We can confirm that report. I was just in the West Wing, and I'm told that this is what happened. Earlier today in Moscow, Steve Witkoff was told by Vladimir Putin that Putin wants to meet at some point with Trump. Witkoff then relayed that message to the president, who is open to it, the possibility of a meeting as soon as next week, if the result of that meeting will be an end to the war in Ukraine. We know that President Trump was on a phone call with Volodymyr Zelensky and some European leaders. He shared this with all of them. We don't know exactly where in the world it would be. It could be anywhere, could be at the White House, could be in a neutral country like Qatar or Switzerland or something, the people that normally host things like this. And I have a statement from Caroline Leavitt, hot off the presses. Haven't seen this anywhere. It says, as President Trump said earlier today on Truth Social, great progress was made during Special Envoy Witkoff's meeting with President Putin. The Russians expressed their desire to meet with President Trump, and the president is open to meeting with both President Putin and President Zelensky. President Trump wants this brutal war to end. And so the emphasis there is on the Russians making this request, but President Trump obviously being open enough to it that there could be a global summit between Putin, Trump, and Zelensky as soon as next week. But there's also a possibility that it slides, and there's also a possibility that it never happened.
So President Trump wants this brutal war to end. It's simple, it's direct, and it's powerful. No more feeding the military-industrial complex. Think about this. Biden sent hundreds of billions of dollars to prolong the war. Trump hasn't even taken office, and he's already closer to peace than everyone. He's been working on this since before he took office, and he's closer to peace than anyone thought possible. Cambodia recognizes it. Russia recognizes it. Even Ukraine is at the table. Finally, guys. From preventing war in Southeast Asia to ending the bloodshed in Europe, Trump's doctrine is clear. Peace through strength actually works. That's no apology tours, no weakness, guys. It's just results. And the Nobel Committee gave Obama a peace prize for doing literally nothing. Trump's actually ending wars and saving lives. Cambodia sees it. The world sees it. Only our corrupt media refuses to acknowledge what's happening right before our very eyes. So if you guys got value from this update, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is what leadership looks like. Real leadership, guys. Not endless wars and enriched defense contractors while young men die in trenches. It's not tough talk followed by weakness. Trump prevented a war between Cambodia and Thailand that nobody even knew was brewing. Now he's ending the Russia-Ukraine nightmare that's killed hundreds of thousands. The establishment said Trump would start World War III. Instead, he's creating world peace. And Cambodia wants to name a highway after him. Their prime minister nominated him for a Nobel Peace Prize. Meanwhile, Putin's ready to talk. Zelensky is at the table, and peace could break out, hopefully, next week. The warmongers are terrified because their gravy train is ending. The media is silent because it destroys their narrative. But what we see is the truth. And so here's my question, guys. Should Trump get the Nobel Peace Prize for actually creating peace? Yes or no? Sound off below and support real journalism in our merch shop. Link is in the description. Again, guys, this is Tom McCullough. Peace is winning. God bless. Awesome. All right. Yeah, so we've got Studio 0530. He sent $2 in as a super chat, or the person sent in $2. It says, it's good times. So we're going to pop through here. We got more from Joe Bundy. Wickoff is a great man, met him many times, and witnessed his generosity. Steve is one of the smartest guys out there, and it's so incredible seeing him out there doing the work and actually closing these peace deals and negotiating with all these foreign leaders. You've got the United Arab Emirates that are taking center stage in the Middle East right now. They're helping lower the oil prices. They're brokering deals that we're not even knowing about. You've got the Emirates are just a spectacular country that are setting the example of what real leadership looks like in the Middle East. And it's just so incredibly awesome to see this. I love covering the White House with Gary. And I think we're going to have Gary coming in here in a few minutes. So we're going to stick with the chat for a couple seconds here. And we're going to have a special break-in from Gary Franchi. So let's check this out. So we got John B. talking about Trump has a Nobel Peace Prizes, and that could be that he could be voted for to win. So I think it's got who nominated him? The Middle East nominated him. I think there was one from the Cambodia. There was another one from Pakistan. He's got like 4 nominations, and the Nobel Committee's not even trying to listen to it. If you're telling me that it's not rigged, that is one of the most rigged things in the world. You've got to do something insane to just get a Nobel Peace Prize. Apparently being Barack Obama was enough for him. So we're going to Gary Hastings. Thank you for sending me the notifications, Kenny, but I was busy in the gallery. I'm not reading the rest of that one. So we've got Tony Kidwell, USA MAGA, God bless. And we're going down to Maria GC. Thank you, Lord Jesus. God is good. And she's talking about, I believe that came through when we were doing the Ukraine segment. What else we got here? We've got... Oh, sorry. We have somebody asking for the Trump dance. Bill's rules, the Trump dance. So you want me to do the Trump dance and have a little bit of fun with it? So I think we're still waiting for Gary to come in. Where are we going here, guys? Yeah, English only, please. They don't want to translate it to other languages. Let's see here. We got one from... James Burness, now the banker who is the judge of the maritime court system and have to return the money to the people. I agree. There's a lot of crazy stuff with that. So what do you guys think of the gerrymandered districts in Illinois? I know there's a lot of other states out there that had some pretty crazy stuff going on as well. But it's just, it's like the height of hypocrisy that the Democrats fled from Texas and they're abandoning their people. And then J.B. Pritzker, who's trying to run for president in 2028. So he's out there doing his national media pushes. He's trying to present like he's like the most loved guy in the entire world. He's out there pushing this stuff that with like relentless vigor, trying to do that. And don't forget, he was the other guy in the phone call with our friend Rod Blagojevich. He was the guy trying to buy the seat, but he's somehow governor and they sent Rod to jail. Pretty insane. We got one from Todd. I never thought any president should get a peace prize just because of the nature of their job as president. If you send someone to die in a war, doesn't that automatically disqualify you? That's not wrong, Todd. But when we don't send people into war like Trump's doing, it's peace through strength, where there's no wars. There's been no new wars under Trump. He's been ending wars left and right. And he's put so much deterrence in the Middle East and deterrence around our country and everywhere else that he's literally shutting down wars, and they're strategically knocking out any avenue people have to even begin some of these things. And if these people are stepping out of line, you see Trump's dropping tariffs. He's hitting them on trade. He's taking them off the bank systems. He's removing countries that are on the BRICS from even our trade allowances. So he's crushing every single opposition in the world and trying to get everybody back on track to stop those crazy wars from happening. So we got, where are we in here? Miss Pothead Kenny, God bless Gary, Angie, Brian, Todd, Thomas, and Brett, and everyone in our N3 family. It's quite a cool group we have here. So you guys don't see I've got an earbud in, and I'm listening to Brian throughout the show. He's giving me good little cues. He's doing all the clip cuts. We've got Todd in the background making sure that the scripts are good and things are running smoothly. Even though we had a little bit of technical difficulties earlier, we appreciate you guys kind of sticking with us on that. And I'm trying to look. We got another Studio 530. Thank you for the $1 super chat. I'm going to check and see if we have any other ones. Keep those super chats rolling in, guys. That one from Dan Thompson still kind of gets me. Get your butt back here, Gary. We all miss him. Trust me. Gary's in the process of being connected right now, so give it a second. We'll have Gary Franchi live from an undisclosed location down in Texas. You guys are going to love where he's at. I'll give you guys a hint. Do you guys remember the story? So I snuck one of these into the White House, and we installed that in the press briefing room. It was right behind where all like the ABC, NBC, all their main live feeds are at. All right, we're going to cut over to Gary Franchi, guys. Let's check this out. What's up, Gare?
Tom.
Hey, good to see you, my friend. You're looking good in that blue suit.
You know, I can't hear Tom in my ear.
Uh-oh. We're trying to go one studio to another studio, and I think they're reconnecting. Gary, can you hear me now?
I don't hear
Tom. Testing. So do you guys recognize the background that Gary has behind him? And
what Brian is? Oh, you're a guy.
All right, so they're working on the sound, guys. It's we literally threw this together last minute.
I hear you, but I do not hear them.
All right, so Brian, Gary, you can hear? Almost. We're still working on it, guys. So, yeah, well, Gary's hanging out down there. He's driving down for Ron Paul's birthday, which that celebration's going on Saturday. And we got a call Gary got a call halfway through the day yesterday during his drive while he was heading down to Texas. And one of his oldest friends invited him to stop by his studio and jump on one of their live shows. And it's a pretty incredible thing. We'll be pulling in some of those clips probably later or possibly in tomorrow's show. We're not 100% sure yet. But I was telling them a little bit ago, I know Gary can't hear me, about bringing in the frog into the White House. And, no, maybe. Almost there. Can you hear?
I hear you. Yeah. I got you.
All right, cool. There you are. Welcome back, Gary.
Hey, Tom. How's it going?
It's good. I'm filling your seat, my friend. I'm not doing that great of a job. I can't fill it's like standing on the shoulders of a giant over here. But kind of miss you, my friend.
Well, it's good to be here on my stream, but the best part is I'm in one of the historic locations of the actual InfoWar. This is ground zero of the InfoWar. I'm in the InfoWar studio right now. I just wrapped an interview with Harrison Smith. We went for like 50 minutes. It's going to run tomorrow, so make sure you're following Harrison Smith on all of his socials so that you can listen. It was a great interview that we did. Great conversation.
Awesome. And so what'd you guys kind of get into a little bit? Was some of the Illinois stuff covered, or a little preview for the crowd that's here?
Yeah, we did get into what was going on in Illinois with the Q Center, how that information came about. And of course, the latest developments with the bomb threats that were occurring and the evacuations. We also got into some of the origins of the Next News Network, how that came about. We talked a little bit about what's happening in Cambodia with respect to the road that's being named after Donald Trump Highway, one of the biggest roads in Cambodia, and of course the Nobel Peace Prize that Donald Trump has been nominated for And of course, also like the massive outcry from the Cambodian people who just want peace in their country so that they can, have prosperous lives, but they're constantly being disrupted by all this war. So Donald Trump bringing peace to that region as well. Not many people talk about. They want to talk about, Iran. They want to talk about Israel. But a lot of times, smaller nations, they don't get the coverage that they deserve. But that's, one of the reasons why Next News Network exists, to kind of shine a light in the corners of the world that deserve it. And for you to be helping out and, holding down the fort while we're en route to the Ron Paul celebration on Saturday, it's all part of the puzzle. We also talked about, going to the White House and what the experience is like there. I mean, you're a White House correspondent for Next News, so you've been there, you've felt it, you've seen it. So we got into some of the stories about what happens behind the scenes and, the competitive nature of just being at the White House itself.
It's all jockeying for your positions and trying to get to the door first, and who's in line and where you're going and who's here and who's there, and like, then pool comes through and you're trying to run through. I wanted to parry on something you said, that Donald Trump treats world peace kind of like how he treats the voters in the United States. He doesn't forget about the little guy. He's not forgetting about the truck drivers. He doesn't forget about the people that are living on overtime wages. He's not forgetting about anybody. That's why he's trying to raise everybody up through whatever means he can. And now he's doing that in the world, like Cambodia and Thailand. I didn't know that was even a factor. Nobody knew that was happening. Nobody knew what was happening in Africa with some of those other countries. It was a 30-year war. Nobody cared because there's no economic development down there. Trump's like, nope, you guys are stopping this right now. And then he gave them both really good trade deals and said, you can't trade with the U.S. unless you guys stop killing millions of people and committing genocide. And he goes and ends that. And where's all the credit? He's treating the world like he treats our voters. It's so incredible to see this happen.
Yeah, it's amazing. President Trump sees where the problems are, and he goes and tries to fix it. And leveraging trade deals for peace is an amazing lever. And with respect to what's happening in Cambodia, we just posted on X an exclusive that you just broadcast on the channel. Everyone's seeing it for the first time. Thank you for presenting that today. But we also posted a version specifically translated into the Cambodian language, and it was a message directly to the Cambodian people. And I just checked on Facebook right now. I mean, this is unheard of for my content on Facebook. 182,000 views, 423 comments, 3,600 shares. I mean, listen, this is
Gary Franchi, Next News Network.
Yeah, so I mean, we converted my voice into the native Cambodian language, and it's going viral all over Cambodia right now. I mean,
that's so incredible.
Yeah, so we're getting word that the Prime Minister has actually seen the reporting we've done. He's super excited. So, these are all great positive things President Trump is doing for not just the United States, but for the world.
Yeah, let's give some shout outs to Mike Alfaro for help making all this happen and making sure that he's keeping everybody in the loop. And I know you called him out in your video too. Mike's one of the power players behind the scenes that's helping connect all the dots and make sure things are going right. And it's just an honor to help fill in for you, Gary, and be here. I'm just happy to do it. It's a good time. We've been friends forever, and it's my first time being out here. So I'm trying not to mess up too bad for you.
Well, I mean, I'm getting messages from people, and they're saying that Tom's doing an amazing job. So give yourself some credit. You know what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Everybody loves you. I love you. The people love you. And, this is only the beginning, especially if I end up in Cambodia. The people are going to see a lot more of you very soon. So there may be something in the works on a media peace amplification mission. We're still trying to iron out some of those details. I don't want to give away too much, but that might just be happening.
I think that would be an incredibly fun trip to see that actually work out. And wow, just look back at the journey. You're talking about the journey with over at the AJ studio over the last 10 years. Would you have ever considered that White House news coverage and this and that and prime ministers and all of the things that have happened over the last few years? It's just such an incredible journey to have that. I'm sorry to go in and interview you on your own deal, but it's just people don't get the anxiety. And like I've known Gary for years, and he starts at 9 a.m. He's working on thumbnails, headlines, titles, and 2 o'clock in the morning I'll get a text and he's still doing something, sleeps 3 hours, gets up, he eats, breathes, and sleeps this to get you guys the news and do this stuff. It's a huge thing. Everybody sees the polished, finished videos. They don't see everything that goes into it and how much work and where you went and where Brian was years ago and to see it come into fruition and have White House credentials now. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah. No, 10 years ago, I would have told you you're crazy. I mean, 2 years ago, I would have told you you're crazy, to consider being at the White House. I mean, 2 years ago, I was, selling off personal assets just to keep the channel going because of demonetization. We were on our deathbed, and suddenly, God lifted us out of that moment, with whistleblowers coming forward and testimony in Texas, and suddenly Google returns the channel and remonetizes us. Now we have White House credentials, and we're going to NATO. We're covering the summit that's taking place there. And then you've got potentially Cambodia on the table next. This is only the beginning of a great journey, and I'm just glad that you're here working and making it happen. Along this whole path. So, Tom, I'm gonna let you get back to the show. I've got to get back in the car. We've got to head down to Lake Jackson to cover the. I'm going to be a guest. Obviously, I'm a VIP guest there, and I'll be giving a toast on the main stage. I believe around 3:15 on Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to that moment. I'll be streaming it live. I'll be cutting in as I can. I want to be sensitive because there's going to be 2 streams going on. There's going to be the main stage and the VIP room. So we will be carrying those streams, simulcasting it on Next News Network on all platforms. But then I'll also be cutting in live, is not to interrupt with the festivities. So just stay tuned. Saturday is going to be awesome.
Well, awesome. You guys have a safe trip. Drive safe, and say hi to the fam and kids when you get there for me. All right. God bless.
I'll do that. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. All right, guys. So I told you we'd have Gary cut in. Sorry it took a few minutes to get everything lined up. All right. So, Brian, we ready for the trivia answer? Did the chat get it right? You guys did. Congratulations. So, the answer was C. Mangosteen, the queen of fruits, was so coveted by royalty it sparked territorial conflicts in Southeast Asia. Quite a good time on that one, guys. So we're going to check for super chats before we get to the trivia up on the next one and get on the next topic. We got AJ Cruz, $2. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, AJ. It's happy to be here, just trying to do what I can. All right, Brian, so we're ready to go. So in 1972, which president's campaign manager invented a hotel pool game that predicted scandals? Was it A, Marco Polo, B, water balloon, C, cannonball, or D, synchronized swimming? Let me know the answer to that, and either in the comments or in the poll. So the walls are closing in, but not on Trump, on the conspirators who tried to destroy him. John Brennan, the CIA director who pushed the Russian hoax, is now desperately claiming we never said Trump colluded. Okay, so my name's Tom. I'm a White House correspondent for the Next News Network, and I'm here while Gary speeds toward Ron Paul's birthday party on Saturday. We'll be streaming that live for everybody. But today, we've got John Brennan's own words from 2018 calling Trump denials hogwash. Peter Navarro just went nuclear, naming every conspirator: Obama, Clinton, Comey, Clapper, and George Soros himself. Finally, declassified emails prove Hillary approved the entire scheme. The Durham Annex exposes how they classified their lies to hide them from their agencies. The biggest political scandal in American history is finally being exposed, so you guys need to make sure you keep watching, guys. Check this out. So, if you're getting close to retirement or just thinking ahead, you've probably done a solid job of saving. But here's something most people don't consider. How much of that money is just sitting in cash? It might feel safe, but holding on to too much cash guarantees one thing: you're losing purchasing power. Inflation eats away at it, and the dollar's value keeps slipping. And that's why more people are looking at real assets like physical gold and silver to protect their savings. And one company that makes it easy: Noble Gold Investments. You can buy gold or silver, coins or bars, and have them shipped to your house or stored securely. It's a smart way to convert cash into something that actually holds value. And Noble Gold is fair, transparent, and they don't pressure you. Just solid information and real options. So visit nextnewsgold.com to get started. So, just like protecting our wealth from inflation requires real assets, protecting our republic from corruption requires real accountability. And John Brennan's day of reckoning has finally arrived. So watch this compilation that destroys Brennan's desperate attempt to rewrite history. His own words condemn him, and the declassified evidence seals his fate. Guys, check this out.
And the intelligence community assessment that we wrote back then, that the analysts wrote, said that we didn't have any information whatsoever about what the impact was on the election. That intelligence community assessment never mentioned the word collusion. Not at all. So what they do is they misrepresent the facts, mischaracterize what is said, and then claim that we were engaged in this big conspiracy. Well, as Simone pointed out, President Obama told us, make sure you don't do anything at all that is going to any way affect the outcome of that election. Don't do anything, and make sure that you don't get these reports released that named individuals had American citizens' names in them. And so we did our utmost to make sure that we carried out our responsibilities with the integrity that we're supposed to.
The amount of information that relates to collusion and obstruction activity is really quite extensive in this report. I think by anyone's account, you can identify all the things that were going on between individuals associated with the Trump campaign and interactions and meetings with Russians. It was quite, I think, enlightening.
Trump's claims of no collusion are hogwash. That's Brennan in the New York Times 2018. Now he claims they never said Trump colluded. This is gaslighting on steroids, which is just typical for that whole entire party, guys. They just gaslight Americans 24/7. And so Pete Navarro just went scorched earth outside the White House. He connected every dot in the conspiracy. Obama, Clinton, Soros. He names them all. And this is courage. I love Navarro. Go ahead and check this out, guys.
Now, let me just really shift gears radically because I want to talk a little bit about the Russia hoax, the Grassley report, and the Durham Annex, which came out last week. I had been working with Senator Grassley's office. I got to give him three cheers because he's been working relentlessly to get out the information about the Russia hoax. And here's what I want to say. I went to prison, as did Steve Bannon, for defending the Constitution. But there isn't a single person associated with the Russia hoax that's been held accountable. And the list is a long one. It goes Obama, Clinton, FBI Director Comey and other people worked there, like Page and Strzok. It involved the intelligence community and Brennan and Clapper. And the importance of the Durham Annex is that ties it all together and brings also in George Soros and his son Alex and the Open Society Foundation. And this is the most sophisticated political scandal that's ever been engineered. No one's been held accountable. Good for Attorney General Pam Bondi for pursuing that. And the most important thing I can tell you, if people are not held accountable for the Russia hoax, they will do it again. If people are not held accountable, they will do it again. And that's what I'm most concerned about. Okay?
So as you guys know, this literally is the most sophisticated political scandal ever engineered. And Navarro went to prison defending the Constitution while these criminals walk free. And that's not for long, guys. The evidence is overwhelming and available for everyone to see. So watch as officials reveal exactly where Americans can find the proof of this massive conspiracy. Take a look.
As you were playing those clips of these people like Morning Joe seemingly befuddled, saying that by no account is any of this true, I would challenge them to see if they've actually read the documents, every single page of the documents that we've released over the last couple of weeks. If not, go to odni.gov, G-O-V. It's all right there for anyone to see. And those who go in and read this will see how President Obama directed that a National Security Council meeting be called to talk about Russia, that the report that came out of that meeting was filled with tasks that were delivered by James Clapper's assistant to John Brennan and to other elements of the intelligence community. John Brennan was the head of the CIA at the time, all saying per the president's direction, per the president's order. And very specifically, they were tasked to create an intelligence assessment that detailed how Moscow tried to influence the election, not if, but how. And this was the beginning of this manufactured intelligence assessment where they knowingly wrote things in this assessment that were false, and they knew they were false. They knew that they were basing it on discredited intelligence or documents like the Steele dossier that was politically motivated and that they knew was false. And this was how they came up with the Russia hoax that was then weaponized and used to try to delegitimize the president, President Trump, and to try to ultimately enact this years-long coup throughout his entire 4 years of his first administration.
All right, so every single person watching this video, listening to it, whatever you're doing, if you have a pen and paper handy, if you guys have your phones, put in odni.gov. Check it out after the show. It has every document, every email, and every single piece of evidence. They created false intelligence. Can't say this right. Say it again. They created false intelligence. They classified it then to hide their crimes, then used it to attempt a coup against Donald Trump. But here's a bombshell that changes everything, guys. Mike Benz reveals how George Soros' own hacked emails exposed the plot. The Open Society Foundation's director knew Hillary's plan from the start. Take a look.
What is your initial reaction to some of the first few pages you're looking at on this report?
I'm shell-shocked. What we got today was the basis for John Brennan's handwritten notes. We have been wondering since the publication of the fact that John Brennan had this handwritten note saying actually Russiagate started with Hillary Clinton. It's like they knew that Hillary Clinton was cooking it up and that she didn't have supporting evidence for it. And so the CIA and FBI simply declare it as fact so that you don't even need to prove the case. And then they classified the evidence so that even the low-level and mid-level CIA and FBI counterintelligence analysts couldn't even see what the basis of the intelligence assessment conclusion was. And then we just found out this week the basis for it was the Steele dossier, the P dossier, something that John Brennan swore up and down was not true. Now we have it in hard, cold emails. But what just dropped today was that the basis of John Brennan's handwritten notes was the CIA discovered that Russia had hacked George Soros's Open Society Foundation Eurasia Center director. And it was that man, Leonard Bernardo, who had said that Hillary Clinton had approved this plan to paint Trump as being backed by the Russians and Russians interfering in the election.
So Benz calls it being shell-shocked. I'm pissed. I'm mad, guys. I'm angry. I don't know how you guys are. I am super upset. And that's how he describes reading these documents. Russia hacked Soros's foundation and discovered Hillary's plan to frame Trump. Then Brennan used that to create his quote-unquote assessment. So think about the evil genius of this scheme. They took Hillary's fabricated Russia story, then they laundered it through the intelligence community. Then they classified the evidence so their own analysts couldn't see it was fake. And then they leaked it to the media to destroy a duly elected president. Just let that sink in, guys. The Steele dossier. Brennan swore it wasn't used in the intelligence assessment. The emails prove he lied. The Durham Annex proves he lied. His own handwritten notes prove he lied. Obama directed the operation at a National Security Council meeting. Every single task, every order, every directive came with per the president's direction. They were told not to investigate if Russia interfered, but how to. Like, meaning they put the conclusion first and then the evidence later. So CrowdStrike and Threat Connect supplied the media narrative while the FBI and CIA proved the official cover. It wasn't a perfectly orchestrated coup attempt and they literally almost got away with it. But Trump survived. The truth survived. And now these documents that are declassified, we have proof of the greatest political crime in American history. Obama knew. Clinton orchestrated it. Brennan executed it. Clapper enabled it. And Comey covered it up. And in the whole time, George Soros was funneling money to keep it funded. They used America's intelligence agencies as weapons against democracy itself. They turned the FBI into the DNC's private police force. They made the CIA into Clinton's personal vendetta machine. It's insane. So if you guys got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next, guys. So this is way bigger than Watergate. It's bigger than any scandal in American history. They weaponized our intelligence agencies to overthrow a president. They classified their lies to hide them from their own people. They nearly destroyed our republic with a hoax they knew was fake from day one. And Brennan must be prosecuted. Clinton must be indicted. Obama must be investigated. Every conspirator must face justice, or they'll just do it again. Navarro's warning should chill every American. The evidence is overwhelming. Hillary's emails approving the plot, Brennan's handwritten notes, Obama's direct orders, and Soros hacked communications. It's all there on odni.gov for anyone with eyes to see. They called us conspiracy theorists for saying what is now a proven fact. Here's my question, guys. Should Brennan face life in prison for attempting to overthrow the government? Yes or no? So drop your verdict below, guys. All right. And also, to continue to show your support for truth, check out our merch shop linked in the description, guys. This is Tom McCullough, and justice is coming. Oh, those guys are so crazy. I can't believe it. It's almost like somebody wrote a really bad book and then they published it back in like the 1950s or 60s, and they updated it in the 70s or 90s to include the internet. They're like, oh man, this is like one of the worst political science thrillers in history. Let's just make this happen. And then they just went out there and fabricated all this garbage to try to control America and get back into it. It's so beyond insane. Okay, let's pop over to these chats and see what's coming in. Thanks, Kenny. I appreciate that. He said 100%, Thomas. We're checking out some super chats. No new super chats, guys. I haven't gotten too many super chats the last couple days. I don't know. Maybe I'm not doing too good of a job, I guess. What do we got here? So Mr. Faith 2004 said, love this show. We appreciate you. We've got Douglas K. Greer. Tell us something good. I wish I could tell you something good, but the good news is going to be coming when all these people get indicted and all these people get perp walked. And I want to see this on camera. Like, they were trying to perp walk Trump. They were trying to get him in that orange jumpsuit with the handcuffs. They were trying for that. And it's going to be the biggest thing ever when these guys were sitting there gaslighting America and projecting all the garbage on people actually come back and do it to the people that were perpetrating these crimes, these lies, these fabrications. The amount of things that they went to. Gary even got shadow banned and banned off of YouTube because of what these people were doing, because he was exposing their truth and they didn't like that. Hillary Clinton said that she lost the election was partly because of the Next News Network breaking her issues. It's insane. These people will stop at nothing to destroy this country. All right. Oh, we got one that came in, it looks like here. Hang on. Oh, thanks, Ruby. You've gifted another membership there. I appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. All right. So, Brian, did they get the answer right or wrong? Looks like they did. All right. All right, so the answer was A, Marco Polo. Though fictional, this pool game perfectly captured how political scandals tend to make waves, guys. All right, so ready for the next trivia? Awesome. All right, so which 1920s bootlegger accidentally invented trickle-down economics at his speakeasy? This would be a good one. Was it A, Johnny Overflow McGillicuddy? Was it B, Sal the Spigot Torrente? Was it Mickey Champagne Fountain O'Brien? Or was it D, Vinny Bottoms Up Benedito? All right, guys, let me know the answer in the comments or in the chat or the poll that pops up. So I'm ready when you are. All right, so $600 billion, not million, that's billion with a B. That's what Apple just committed to American manufacturing, and it's just the beginning. My name's Tom McCullough. I'm a White House correspondent for the Next News Network, and I'm keeping your seat warm while Gary races to cover Ron Paul's 90th birthday live on Saturday. But today's news can't wait, guys. The largest manufacturing investment in Apple's history is creating 20,000 jobs in Kentucky alone. Micron's bringing chip production home, inflation's down for the first time in 4 years, and real wages are rising. So Stephen Miller calls it the golden age of American economy, and the numbers prove him right. This isn't campaign promises. This is happening right now. The manufacturing resistance the establishment said it was impossible is roaring back to life. So go ahead and stay tuned, guys. We got crazy good stuff coming. So while America's economy builds on real manufacturing strength, your skin's foundation needs real collagen strength. Just as factories create jobs, collagen creates your skin structure, but we lose it after 40. That's where economic wisdom meets skincare science. Ageless Multi-Collagen delivers 5 essential types for our 4 premium sources, rebuilding what time tears down. Like smart investors diversifying portfolios, this formula diversifies collagen sources for maximum results. That's non-GMO, hormone-free, supporting both your appearance and NoKidHungry.org. In this booming economy, invest in yourselves. Manufacturing is coming home, and your youthful glow can too. So get 51% off at healthwithgary.com, because real wealth includes looking your best. So while America rebuilds its economic foundation with real investments, let's see how President Trump just secured the largest corporate commitment in our nation's history. So watch Trump himself announce Apple's massive investment that's reshaping American manufacturing. This moment will be studied in history books. Take a look.
Thank you very much. It changes our country. I mean, our country is a very different country than it was 6 months ago. And people like Tim are coming. We had Micron in yesterday. We had all of the big, great companies that you read about, you don't know about, but you read about. Many of them were making products outside of our country. Foolishly, we lost them. If we had the right person sitting in that seat, that would have never happened 20 and 30 years ago. When you look at the chip business, it would have never left our shores. We had 100% of chips originally, and then we slowly got taken down to nothing. We have the biggest chip companies, the both of them, but we have the biggest in the world coming in. They're going to Arizona and beyond. And we're going to have, in a short period of time, we'll be up to almost 50% of the chips from starting at nothing. And that's something. But we have the greatest companies in the world coming into our country, and that means jobs, and it means wealth, and wealth means security for our people.
I mean, I think, and I agree with Trump when he said our country is a very different country than it was 6 months ago. And it's different because we have leadership that puts, guess what, America first, guys. And here's a breakdown of Apple's historic commitment. 20,000 direct jobs, but that's just the beginning. The ripple effects will transform entire communities. Check this out.
These investments will directly create more than 20,000 brand new American jobs and many thousands more at the Apple suppliers like Corning, Broadcom, Texas Instruments, and Samsung, who all deal in that world. As part of this historic commitment, Apple will massively increase spending on its domestic supply chain for the iPhone and will build the largest and most sophisticated smart glass production line in the world in Harrodsburg, Kentucky, which is a great, actually, I did very well there. I like it because I see I did very well there.
Yeah, he did pretty well everywhere. So the most sophisticated smart glass production line right here in Kentucky. It's not in China, guys. It's not in Vietnam. It's in Kentucky, United States of America. So CEA Chair Steve Moran explains why this matters for national security. It's not just jobs, guys. And that's economic strength is national defense. Check this out.
What we're seeing so far is a renewed commitment to investing in America and improving the resilience of American production and the self-sufficiency of the American economy, which is a great thing, both from a jobs perspective and also from a national security perspective. So more commitments like this from Apple and from other companies is definitely a good thing for America.
Would any of this happen if it was like Kamala Harris or Biden in there, guys? Right now, we have self-sufficiency, resilience, and security. When we make our own technology, we control our own destiny. Trump reveals a full scope. It's $600 billion over 4 years. That's $100 billion more than was originally planned. And watch the master negotiator at work on this. Check this out.
Today, Apple is announcing that it will invest $600 billion, that's with a B, in the United States over the next 4 years. That's $100 billion more than they were originally going to invest. And this is the largest investment Apple has ever made in America and anywhere else. And it's just an honor to have you. As you know, Apple's been an investor in other countries a little bit. I won't say which ones, but a couple. And they're coming home. $600 billion. It's the biggest there is. The company is also unveiling its ambitious new American manufacturing program, which will bring factories and assembly lines across our country all roaring to life.
if it could be said about the last 6 months of Trump's administration, about companies and the economy, it's that they are coming home. The same companies that fled to China, that abandoned American workers, they're racing back. And that's what real Trump leadership delivers. And Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent drops the truth bomb about inflation and wages. For the first time in 4 years, inflation is down while wages, they're going that way. They're going up, guys. Check this out.
There is an affordability crisis. We inherited a big affordability crisis, and we've got, as I've said, President Trump's doing peace deals, tax deals, trade deals. We've got the tax deal in place, as you kicked off the top of this segment with. The trade deals are largely done, and now we can really hone in on the affordability. At Treasury, we're going to be looking at what we can do for housing, for student loans, for overall, because there is an affordability crisis. The first step in easing the affordability crisis was to bring down inflation. Inflation in May was down for the first time in 4 years. So to address it, you've got to stop the increase first. And there are two ways to address it, the affordability crisis. You can stop the inflation, and you can have a very strong real wage gains, which is what I think this manufacturing renaissance is going to do.
And guys, the affordability crisis is ending. And that happens when you bring manufacturing home. You create real jobs with real wages that beat inflation. And Steve Miller, one of the biggest geniuses in the world, connects all the dots. Tax cuts, energy deregulation, and Trump's negotiating genius that created this boom. Watch him destroy these doom and gloomers. Check this out.
The economy was on its deathbed when President Trump came into the Oval Office. Joe Biden and the Democrats and whoever was running the White House, be it the Autopen or anyone else, had suffocated the life out of the American economy. The worst inflation we've ever seen, soaring energy prices, no investment, no innovation, losing out to the world, and the drastic overregulation of every segment and facet of the American economy. President Trump came in. Now we have the largest tax cut and reform in American history. We have the most pro-energy agenda in American history. Lee Zeldin, the head of the EPA, just did the largest energy deregulation action in American history. You mentioned the investments. I had the honor and privilege of watching the president negotiate with the EU and Korea and Japan, the largest investments in American history we've ever seen. This is the golden age of the American economy, Sean.
Say that again for the camera, guys. The golden age of the American economy. It's not rhetoric, guys. This is reality. The largest tax cut, the biggest energy deregulation, the greatest investment surge in history. Think about what just happened in 6 months ago. The Economist said American manufacturing was dead. China owned the future, and that our best days were behind us. And then what happened, guys? Trump took office. Now Apple's investing $600 billion. Micron's bringing semiconductor production home. We're going from 0 to 50% of global chip production. The European Union, Korea, and Japan are pouring money into American factories. This isn't just about jobs, though 20,000 families in Kentucky would absolutely disagree about that. This is about reclaiming our destiny. When we make our own chips, we control our own technology. When we build our own factories, we secure our future. And every single factory that Democrats said would never reopen, they're roaring back to life, guys. Every job they said was gone forever, they're coming home with better pay. Every community they abandoned, getting a second chance. The establishment wanted managed decline. Trump delivered explosive growth. They wanted Americans dependent on China. Trump made China dependent on access to American markets. So, if you guys got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is what America First looks like, guys. Not empty slogans, but $600 billion in real investment, real factories, and real jobs. While Biden sent our money to Ukraine, Trump brought it home to Kentucky. While Democrats preached about transitions, Trump delivered transformations. 20,000 families getting paychecks from Apple. Entire communities reborn around semiconductor plants. Inflation finally retreating while wages are advancing. This isn't just an economic economic boom. It's an American resurrection. We're not just competing with China. We're crushing them, guys, crushing them. We're not just surviving. We are thriving. The establishment said manufacturing was dead, that we should accept service jobs and just shut up. Trump said, watch me, and deliver the greatest industrial comeback in history. So I have a question for you. Is this the greatest economic turnaround you have ever witnessed? Guys, yes or no? Let us know below. And celebrate American greatness. Grab your Next News gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Again, this is Tom McCullough. America is back, guys. All right. Okay, so while I was watching a video clip, I saw some of you guys talking about fermented herring. Seriously? That is disgusting. I don't know who likes fermented herring, who even... Ugh. Oh, boy. What we got here? Yeah, all right, we're not going to John's comment about clam chowder, because that's another one that I'm not too sure on. Let's check for some super chats here. All right, so we've got a super chat from the Woody57. Do you think Stromer and Obama are good friends? I'm not too sure. I think Obama is in bed with anybody that can potentially destroy this country. And I have no shame in saying anything like that, because we all know that Obama is... You ever see the pictures of when everybody's doing... they're doing the Pledge of Allegiance, or they're singing the national anthem, and they've got their hands here, and Obama's got his hands down there, or Michelle Obama going, all of this for a flag? You guys are the president and first lady of the United States. You think that people would care more. It's so anytime Obama's going to be in doing all the bad stuff. So we got the Intimidator. Hey, Gary, South Suburbs here. Where are you at from the South Suburbs? I used to live in the Crestwood Oak Forest area. So that's another South Side area here. We got Gail Wright. Hello from Sand Springs, Oklahoma. And we got Black Wolf 2303. This is my jam. Politics and exposing corruption and the deep state trying to destroy this country is our jam. So you are in the right home, Mr. Black Wolf 2303. We love destroying their narratives. What we got here? Hello, Gary. Daniel from Illinois. Welcome here. And we got Roberta Morrison from South Dakota. Welcome. I was just out there. If you guys go on, actually, I took my wife and kids out to Mount Rushmore, and we had a great time checking that stuff out. And we got another membership that just got gifted here by Ruby. Thank you again for another membership. And what we got here? Another one got a... Trying to find here. I'm still getting used to Gary's setup here. So normally when I go to the White House, I've got my teleprompter in front of me. I read it. And sitting in studio is a little different, because we've got cameras in different angles, and you've got the TV on the side, and trying to read through and scroll through the comments. Gary does it on the phone, which is a little bit easier. So I appreciate you guys kind of bearing with me as we're getting through this, and I'm kind of learning the whole deal. So we got Patricia Smith saying, I hope we return to manufacturing things, because when I was a kid in the 50s, made in America was a symbol of quality goods. I remember clothing with labels that said shop for the union label. Anything in America tended to be built way better. And it seems that, they tried to deindustrialize this country from the 90s all the way forward. And it was just disgusting what happened. And it's just amazing how quickly, Obama's like, oh, you didn't build that. And, oh, no, we can never get American manufacturing back. We got to just settle for this. Then Trump in 2016 to 20 recreated all the great stuff. And then they destroyed it again over 4 years. And then Trump's like, oh, no, it's never going to be a good country. Nope, 6 months. We're rocket fuel. He literally put rocket fuel into the economy. So we're going to get over to the trivia answer here. So, you guys ready? Did they get it right? You guys did. No. That was a no, Brian. The chat did not get it right, guys. The correct answer was C. Mickey Champagne Fountain O'Brien. I didn't know that one. His tower of glasses perfectly demonstrated how prosperity flows from the top down. I never would have guessed that. Huh, that's a bit crazy. All right, ready for the next trivia, Brian? All right. So, in 1932, which D.C. police chief arrested 17,000 World War I veterans demanding their bonuses? Was it A, Pelham Glassford, B, Douglas MacArthur, C, J. Edgar Hoover, or D, Elliot Ness? Guys, let us know your answers in the comments or in the poll. Go ahead and click the buttons and let us know. We'll find out after we're done with this segment. All right, so our nation's capital has become a war zone, and President Trump just declared war on the criminals. After a young hero named Edward Kornstein got brutally beaten for protecting others, Trump's had enough. So my name's Tom McCullough. I'm the White House correspondent for the Next News Network, and I'm holding down the fort while Gary heads to Ron Paul's birthday party on Saturday. We're going to be streaming it right here live on the Next News Network. So today, Trump announced he's considering federalizing the D.C. police and deploying the National Guard. Drive-by shootings, muggings, and streets covered in graffiti. This is supposed to be America's capital. Trump's message is clear. You're going to be safe walking down the streets. And I can tell you, me and Gary, we cover the White House all the time, and we always have to be careful about where we're staying and where we're walking. The crime is real. It's insane. The criminals' reign of terror is ending now, guys. Local leaders failed. And Trump? He won't fail. What you're about to see will restore your faith in justice. Let's go ahead and let's watch this. So if you guys are getting close to retirement or just thinking ahead, you've probably done a solid job of saving. But here's something most people don't consider. How much of that money is just sitting in cash? It might feel safe, but holding too much cash guarantees one thing. You're losing purchasing power. Inflation eats away at it, and the dollar's value keeps slipping. That's why more people are looking at real assets like physical gold and silver to protect their savings. And one company that makes it easy? Noble Gold Investments. You can buy gold or silver, coins or bars, and have them shipped to your home or stored securely. It's a smart way to convert cash into something that actually holds value. Noble Gold is fair, transparent, and they don't pressure you. Just solid information and real options. So visit nextnewsgold.com and get going. So just like protecting a requirement requires real action, protecting our capital requires real leadership. Shocker. And President Trump just delivered both. So listen to Tyrus explain what real manhood looks like. Edward Kornstein didn't just save someone, he saved our faith in American courage. This is powerful, guys. Take a look.
That's in our DNA. A man who would hide would have been better off dying, because he would be redeemed, and they did talk about him for years. And as a coward, that saying is so true. A soldier dies but once. A coward dies a million deaths, because you will always be that guy. Mm-hmm. So for this young man to be this courageous, you have to almost be like, wow, this should be the norm. Mm-hmm. The problem is that we've worked so hard to water men down, to try to teach them to not get involved, not help. And the ones who suffer the most are women, because whether you want to argue it or not, physically, they're just not as strong as men. And when men attack, the only way to protect women is with other men. Mm. So you see this, and instead of calling him big balls, we should call him by his name. He should be revered. This is not a nickname. Mm-hmm. This young man, look at him. He went through hell. They beat the hell out of him, and he walked away from it. And I bet if you asked him, hey, if you had a chance to do it again, what would you do differently? He'd say, I would duck and I'm jive, but I would still charge in. And we need to praise this man, and we need to praise more young men for getting involved, because, men, it's time to get back in the game.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Everybody gets their phone out when something bad's happening, and they record. Nobody steps in to try to actually protect or help people. How many people drive crime scene accidents or accidents that happen on the road and they record it instead of calling 911? And he said it best, men, it's time to get back in the game. Kornstein took a beating but walked away a hero. And that's what we need more of. Men who stand up when evil strikes. But heroism shouldn't be necessary just to walk down the street. Watch how D.C. residents live in fear in what should be America's safest city. Take a look.
Some days I feel unsafe going outside.
Recent shocking acts of violence have some on alert. A recent fatal drive-by shooting, along with a carjacking and beating in this neighborhood near U Street.
Which is insane. I mean, I just live a block this way, so to know that I'm so close to something like that is really terrifying.
So we asked residents what they think city leaders should do immediately to improve safety.
I feel like it's still very dark.
John Roeder says more functioning streetlights would help.
More streetlights, brighter streetlights, which sounds like so easy and simple, but I don't think we have enough of those.
For Cameron Talley, hearing about violence steps from her home.
Oh my word. Right here
brings back memories from a year ago.
We got caught in the middle of a drive-by shooting. So that was horrible.
Talley says the city should consider installing blue light emergency phones, seen often on college campuses.
Oh, I see a blue light, I can get to it and call for help.
For Dana Richardson, the quickest path to peace on city streets.
I think they need to do more about the juvenile crime
He believes young people caught in the criminal justice system need the deterrent of jail time and not freedom while awaiting their fate.
I think it's because they keep on letting them go. No deterrent. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so streetlights are kind of a good thing, but what about prosecutors actually committing and putting people in jail instead of letting them go and changing how things work? So drive-by shootings, carjackings, beatings. This isn't Mogadishu, guys. This is blocks from the White House, and this ends now. So President Trump just dropped the hammer. He's considering federalizing D.C. police and bringing in the National Guard. The criminals' free ride is over. Finally, take a look.
Are you considering taking over the D.C. police? Is that an option on the table?
We're considering it, yeah, because the crime is ridiculous. I could show you a chart comparing D.C. to other locations, and you're not going to want to see what it looks like. It was just up on television, actually, they were showing it. Now, we want to have a great, safe capital, and we're going to have it. And that includes cleanliness, and it includes other things. We have a capital that's very unsafe. You know, we just almost lost a young man, beautiful, handsome guy that got the hell knocked out of him the night before last. And I'm going to call him now. We wanted to give him a little recovery time. We just put a call into him. They're calling back in a little while, but he went through a bad situation, to put it mildly, and there's too much of it. We're going to do something about it. So whether you call it federalized or what, and that also includes the graffiti that you see, the papers all over the place, the roads that are in bad shape, the medians that are falling down, the median in between roads that's falling down. We're going to beautify the city. We're going to make it beautiful. And what a shame. The rate of crime, the rate of muggings, killings, and everything else, we're not going to let it. And that includes bringing in the National Guard, maybe very quickly, too.
So Trump said we're going to beautify the city and not just stop crime, transform D.C. into what it should be. Safe streets, clean sidewalks, and a capital worthy of America. I will appreciate that. I can tell you, when we walk in, it gets pretty sketchy. And Trump's even considering overturning the D.C. Home Rule Act. Local politicians failed their citizens. And now it's time for adult supervision. Check this out.
And do you want Congress to look at overturning the D.C. Home Rule Act?
We're going to look at that. In fact, the lawyers are already studying it. We have to run D.C. This has to be the best run place in the country, not the worst run place in the country. And it has so much potential. And we're going to take care of it. You're going to be safe. You're going to be safe walking down streets. You're not going to get mugged.
And that's what most Americans want. What Trump just said, you're going to be safe walking down the streets. You're not going to get mugged. It's a simple promise, guys. It's a simple, simple promise, but it is a powerful guarantee. And this is what leadership looks like. So here's a full plan, guys. National Guard deployment is coming quickly. Trump's not playing games with public safety, guys. Check this out.
Something about it. So whether you call it federalized or what, and that also includes the graffiti that you see, the papers all over the place, the roads that are in bad shape, the medians that are falling down, the median in between roads that's falling down. We're going to beautify the city. We're going to make it beautiful. And what a shame. The rate of crime, the rate of muggings, killings, and everything else, we're not going to let it. And that includes bringing in the National Guard, maybe very quickly, too.
And do you want Congress to look at overturning the D.C. Home Rule Act?
We're going to look at that. In fact, the lawyers are already studying it. We have to run D.C. This has to be the best run place in the country, not the worst run place in the country. And it has so much potential. And we're going to take care of it. You're going to be safe. You're going to be safe walking down streets. You're not going to get mugged.
So Trump just said it, guys. The lawyers are already studying it. The Guard is ready. The criminals better start packing. It's time to go. Think about what we allowed to happen. Our nation's capital, where Lincoln walked, where Martin Luther King dreamed, where history was made, has become a cesspool of crime and fear. Elderly people afraid to leave their homes. Women are clutching their purses. And heroes like Korenstein getting beaten for doing the right thing. The graffiti-covered walls, the broken medians, the lawless streets, they're not just embarrassing. They're a surrender to chaos. They tell the world America can't even protect its own capital. It's mind-blowing. But Trump, He sees what others ignore. This isn't just about crime statistics. It's about national dignity. When ambassadors visits, when tourists come to see democracy's birthplace, what they see, guys? They see fear, decay, and surrender. And that's not happening anymore. Trump is bringing in the National Guard because local leaders are either corrupt, incompetent, or both. When you can't walk from the Lincoln Memorial to the Capitol without fearing for your life, you failed as a city. The federalization of D.C. police isn't extreme, it's overdue. The city government has proven that it can't or won't protect its citizens. They'd rather virtue signal than arrest criminals. They'd rather defund police than defend families. It's insane. It's liberal lunacy. So if you guys got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is about more than crime. It's about whether America still has a will to defend civilization itself. When young heroes like Edwin Cornstein get beaten bloody for protecting the innocent, when grandmothers fear grocery shopping, when our capital looks like a failed state, we've surrendered to evil. Trump's response is not excessive, it is essential. Federalize the police, deploy the guard, override the corrupt local politicians who turn D.C. into a criminal playground. It's all in there. It's every single bit of it is there for us to do. And every American deserves to walk safely in their capital. Every family visiting the monument should feel pride and not fear. The criminals have had their run. The cowards have had their chance. Now comes the reckoning. Trump promised American carnage would end, and he's keeping that promise. So here's my question. Should Trump declare martial law in D.C. until the streets are safe? Yes or no? Tell us below, guys, and show your American pride. So visit the shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Again, this is Tom McCullough. Order will be restored. God bless. All right. So we had one from Bill's Rules. I have not been to D.C. since the 70s. He turned on my inside light to look at a map, and bottles were thrown at my car from several directions. That was it for me. So depending on where we stay in D.C., it's either a walk through Lafayette Park or we've got to Uber across the city and get in. And we have our badges because you have your correspondence badges, and you have to hide them inside of your pocket, because there's people that are trying to see, like, oh, what watch do you have? What do you have? Or we've got the crazy people outside that are trying to figure out what your name is. And so they can look you up online and find out if you're a conservative or a liberal. And usually they're the pink-haired crazies that are out there, and they want to know who you are. So they can look you up and try to ruin your life. It's insane. We have Antonia Flores said, if parents can't control their own children, then the parents are the problem. And I think the Democrats and the liberal establishment has done a great job of destroying the nuclear family for the last 40 years. That's been their entire goal, was to destroy the nuclear family, meaning father and a mother inside the house. It's pretty sad when that goes through. We've got Tony Kidwell saying our electric bills are going way up there. And that's interesting that everything's smarter and greener, yet our prices keep going up. And Blessed Mess says the D.C. mayor is horrible. I couldn't agree more. Bowser needs to go. I don't know how she won the election with a name like that, but hey, where are we going here? John Patrick Smith, Trump is spot on. Derelict city means derelict people. Amen. So D.C. is a little bit different than the rest of the country. It's a federal district, and it's been a federal district since 1801. And Congress has the only oversight over Washington, D.C. So they used to have city managers. They used to have federal employees that were running the city on behalf of the Congress. And in 1977, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, guys. They passed a Home Rule Act, which allowed them to have the city councils. They allowed them to have the mayor and all the elections that were going through, and then they removed the congressional oversight and just let the city kind of run itself. And if you look from 1977 to 2025, the crime has gone way up, the taxes have gone way up, shocking, and everything has gone completely downhill as far as crime and everything else. So when Trump's talking about sending in the National Guard, he is the only person outside of the Speaker of the House that has control over whether or not to send in the National Guard. And they could easily federalize the police and do whatever they need to do in the city. But if they want to replace the elected officials out there, they do have to remove the Home Rule Act that was passed in 1977 and get rid of those politicians and instill the type of government that D.C. had before 1977. So a little history lesson on that one, going through it. Yeah, so John B., people are sick of the BS. In the UK and the US, the leadership needs to go. Could not agree more. So you got Agolf, I'm not going to finish that. From cheaper groceries, no new wars, and release the Epstein files to arrest a farm worker wage, and there's no Epstein files in just 6 months. Every single day, we are asking about the Epstein files. Every time we do a report from the White House, or today it's Epstein. We want that as much as every single one of you. And there's some cool stuff going on in the background that's not public yet, but you guys will see. And we are literally at the forefront of some of that. You'll see. All right, guys, we got the trivia answer. And Brian, was the chat right? Oh, you guys are, oh, sorry. You just said no. I thought he said no on that one. So you guys were correct. So answer was A, Pelham Glassford. It was the World War I veteran police chief who reluctantly carried out the eviction, later calling it his greatest regret. So I'm going to check one more time for any super chats before we go ahead and get into the show close. We don't have it. All right, guys. So, Patriots, what a show. We've just exposed the greatest hypocrisies and victories of our time. And you guys were here for every single explosive moment. So let's recap this incredible day. Democrats caught drawing secret maps in underground tunnels beneath Illinois while crying about Texas redistricting. Greg Gutfeld torched their hypocrisy. 40% of Massachusetts votes Republican, but they have zero representation. That's not democracy, guys. That's domination. And those tunnels, that's where democracy goes to die, in darkness. And John Brennan's desperately trying to rewrite history, claiming, we never said Trump colluded. And we've got the receipts, John. Your 2018 op-ed called Trump's denials hogwash. Now Peter Navarro's named every conspirator. That's Obama, Clinton, Comey, Clapper, and George Soros. The declassified documents on odni.gov. Write that down, guys. Go back later. That's odni.gov. They proved the whole Russia hoax was manufactured. Hillary approved it. Obama directed it. And Brennan executed. And justice, guys, is coming. So speaking of justice, Cambodia just nominated President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. They're renaming their highway after the man who prevented war and saved lives. Meanwhile, Trump's envoy met with Putin, and a peace summit could happen literally next week. The man they said would start World War III is literally ending wars across the globe, and some before they even start. And we're going to get to the economy. What's it doing, guys? It's exploding. Apple's investing $600 billion in America. It's $100 billion more than they even wanted to spend. 20,000 jobs in Kentucky alone. Micron's bringing chips home. Inflation is down. Wages are up. And Stephen Miller called it right. This is the golden age of the American economy. And in D.C., Trump's deploying the National Guard to restore order. After heroes like Edward Cornstein got beaten for doing what's right, Trump said enough. The criminals' reign ends now. Safe streets are not negotiable. They are guaranteed. To everyone who sent in super chats and rumble rants, you guys made the show electric. Big Patriot 47, your comment about the tunnels had me fired up. Liberty Lover 23, you nailed it about Brennan's panic. And Freedom First 88, your support means everything. And MAGA Mike 2025, that rumble rant about Trump's peace initiatives were perfect. And thank you for making the Raw Feed the hottest show in alternative media. Your energy, your passion, and your refusal to accept lies, that's what makes us unstoppable. So tell a friend about today's revelations, share that clip about the secret tunnels, and spread the word about Trump's Nobel nomination. And if you guys want to hear your rebellion, hit our merch shop. We've got the Alligator Alcatraz and the President Otto pen are flying off the shelves. And again, guys, my name is Tom McCullough, White House correspondent for the Next News Network. I am filling in for Gary, who's about to celebrate Ron Paul's 90th birthday. So make sure you guys watch it live with us here on Saturday. And thank you for joining the Raw Feed. You guys keep fighting, keep sharing, and keep winning. The truth train has no brakes, and we'll see you guys on the next show. So God bless you, and God bless America, and have a great night, everybody. It's been a pleasure.